There is so many things in the world that we can discuss, but I want to discuss the cloning of humans. Is it real? A number of persons have not had the thought to themselves whether the person you're looking at is really born of a woman and a man. And I'm asking the question, are you aware that the cloning technology is real and that there are many clone individuals who are walking around on this earth? Are you aware of that? A number of persons are not thinking about the gravitas of the situation and trying to understand where we have reached in terms of science and how men have become gods in terms of science and what they are able to do with this godlike technology. No, it is not easy to sort of comprehend this thing in large proportion. You have to take this thing in increment. They have successfully cloned babies and they are cloning thousands of babies. I'm asking you the question, why? Now, the question I'm going to ask you, they have argued that we need to reduce the world's population. Why would you want to be cloning babies? Why would you want to be cloning babies when you argue that we need to find a way to reduce the world's population because the world's population is outpacing its food population? Does that make sense to you people? We don't seem to understand that these guys have been planning for years, for centuries, how to wipe off humanity and to create their own. And they have finally become successful at it. And now they have become successful at it, they are able to actually deal with even your very consciousness. We do another I would say, I'm lost for words. I do another video to sort of see how can they clone your thinking. That's where they have reached with terms of this technology. No, but you may want to think that, Paul, you are getting ahead of yourself and you do not know what you're speaking about. And I understand what you're saying. Clearly do. And I know it's hard trying to understand where they have actually reached with technology. But I'm asking the question, they have successfully cloned humans. The number of humans that you are seeing are not necessarily the real copy, but the copy of what the woman and the man had created. And you are not sure as to which copy that you're looking at. That's the level that they have reached. It means that if somebody does not like you, they could easily decide to get rid of you and replace you with your clone, and nobody will know. That's where things have actually reached. Let's listen to this for a second.
Being made in the projects. What could you elaborate on that and your experience with clones, Randy and Jim?
Sure. A clone is basically just a copy. It's essentially a soulless copy of a person. My understanding is that there's a requirement that is the tiny fraction of that person's soul that has to be attached to the physical body so that the cells duplicate beyond 32 or 64 or what it is. So there's a limitation. They won't grow past that if there isn't some piece of a soul in there. But because it's just a teeny little sliver, they don't really have one. And so they're not considered a person. They're not legally considered a person because they're not a soul inside them. So they tend to be not very bright. They tend to be very undisciplined. They can be very difficult to train if you try to train a clone to actually fight. That's why we ended up abandoning clone armies, because they're a horrible idea. But a clone is basically just a copy. Now, if in my case, this is not my original body has been destroyed, and because it was beat up and bruised and old so many times that they had to give me a young one and put me back. So this is a clone body, but I'm not a clone because as soon as they put my soul into the body, it's now a person.
So what can you expect to see on the show?
I want you to listen carefully to what the gentleman said.
I know of clones being made.
I want you to listen carefully to what the gentleman said. He said that he is a clone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached a stage. We're at a stage where they are cloned people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm repeating it. Where we are seeing. You might think what you're seeing on your screen now is two women kissing, and it could be a woman and a man. It could be. I really hope people understand what is really going on, you know. I do not think some persons fully comprehend the matter of what is actually happening in terms of where things are. We have cloned people walking around in your presence. Clone people in your presence.
World's fairs had these massive exhibits called live infant incubators. These exhibits were insanely popular, drawing millions of visitors. They even had nurses in uniforms acting like caretakers. The babies weren't premature, they were being artificially gestated. This wasn't just a medical breakthrough. This was unfathomably advanced technology. Artificial wombs, mass baby production. Sounds a whole lot like a new world being repopulated.
Ah, where we are in the world, we're at a stage now where we have mastered the art of cloning humans. That's where things are. Men have now become gods. Men have now become gods, where they are able to clone humans, clone the individual. It is difficult for a number of us to understand. You might say the world is coming to an end. An end of what and where? Is it an end of the human uncloned race? Is it the beginning of the cloned human race? I'm going to ask you a question. How sure are you that Elon Musk is not a clone? How sure are you that Diddy is not a clone? And that the copy that might go to jail is not the real copy? We have cloned humans, ladies and gentlemen. And it's simple that all they need is an aspect to your brain cells. And you're able now to grow your cells in a tube and take a part of your mindset, your soul, and put it into that clone body, that avatar, and make themselves a copy Paul born, and destroy the real Paul born if they do not agree with what the real Paul born has to say. And therefore, the clone will keep their agenda going because the clones know little of what you know, and therefore is unable to forward a number of thoughts that you would have forwarded. And so therefore the clone, remember they say the clone is only at 33%, which means 1/3 of you. So the clone only knows 1/3 of what you know. But of course the clone is still you. So an individual could be seeing what they think they are seeing, and they are not seeing what they are seeing. Because what they are seeing is a manifestation of a clone, a copy of you. And you might be in the grave. You might have died. They may have destroyed your body long time and gotten rid of that soul that is problematic to them. Why are they doing this? Where are they heading with this sort of technology? Are these clones going to be fighting against those soul beings that are on the earth? Will they be destroying us altogether and replacing us with a society of clone people that they are able to control and manipulate? Because if they are able to create your avatar and to create a replica of you by growing you in stem cells and labs and tubes, then they have to develop, or they would have had developed, a system to control the clones. But what happens when the clones decide to rebel? As in the case of one of the videos where the individual said the clones cannot be trained. If you can't train the clones, what is going to happen to our world? Where are we heading? Are we really seeing what is actually going on? Or seeing where we have reached with technology now? That no longer these guys will actually call God, but they are now the new gods? And if they are able to create a clone of you, what else can they not create? Why do they need you anymore when you are rebellious, outspoken? Or will they not use YouTube and Facebook to know who you are? And possibly they would have created a clone of you already. And when the time comes, they can easily eliminate you and replace you with the clone without nobody knowing that you are no longer with us. Where are they with this technology? What's the purpose of using this technology? Where is the world heading? What are they trying to create? What are they trying to do? Is it that they want to go back to the system of blowing breath in man? Is that what they are saying? Really blowing breath in man? Where they don't have to blow breath, they can create man. Let me ask you another question. We were created by God. Is that the technology that they are using to create man? The clone man? Who gave them the technology to create a copy of you? God created man from the dust. That technology, have they got it in their hand? And are they using that technology to create a new clone human race? What's the purpose of all of that technology? Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide with trusted information for you to make decisions. I'm asking the question, the clone technology, what's its purpose? Do they need you anymore? Are they using YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all these things to know who you are and to decide who they are going to eliminate? What do you think about it? Are you putting out to the general public who you are? And they have decided, listen, we're going to eliminate Paul Bourne, eliminate so-and-so, eliminate so-and-so, because these persons are anti-whatever. And then they create a clone of me, of you, because you're rebellious, because you're not in keeping what they want to do. And therefore, your clone will only know a third of what you know, and therefore unable to create the same problems that you create. Or when God created man, did he know that man was going to turn out to this? And their clone that they have created and are continuing to create, how do we know how those clones are going to turn out? I have left a blank screen in there, black screen for you to look at. You know why I've left the screen for you to look at blank? I'm saying, what is the new thought that is going to be emerging? And my blank screen is indicating just that. There's a newness which is coming that nobody knows what it is. And my blank screen represents the newness that is coming from clone technology. Who are we? Where are we heading?